Breaking Nigerian High Court bars supporters, activists, other from promises from terrorism cases within 24 hours to Nnamdi Kanu'S hearing. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. The Federal High Court on Thursday stated this in a directory referred to as practice directions on trial of terrorism cases obtained by Sahara reporters. The Federal High Court of Nigeria has stated that the perimeters of a court sitting over a terrorism trial should henceforth be secured for the period of a trial for the safety of the litigants and the court officials. The Federal High Court on Thursday stated this in a directory referred to as practice directions on trial of terrorism cases obtained by Sahara reporters. By this new directive, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, Honorable Justice John Taramba Soho, further noted that the distance and the size of perimeters to be secured for the trial shall be determined based on the recommendation of security agencies on a case-by-case basis. The court sitting an anticipated ruling on the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu's trial by the Nigerian government comes on Friday, April 8th, and will be the first casualty of this new directive. Kanu, whose court sittings are usually attended by a large number of supporters, activists, and observers, will be in court again on Friday in a decisive court ruling of the new directive may not be unconnected with his trial. The Chief Judge further noted that no person shall be allowed within the secured perimeters, save the approved court officials, parties, and a number of pre-registered legal practitioners on either side, witnesses, and any other person, as may be directed by the judge or the most senior judge in the given circumstances. The directive reads Practice Directions on Trial of Terrorism Cases 2022. Preamble. An exercise of the powers conferred on me by Section 254 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and other powers enabling me in that behalf. Order 1. Applicability. These practices directions shall, save to the extent as may be otherwise directed by the Honorable the Chief Judge, apply to all trials of cases under the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended before the Federal High Court sitting anywhere in Nigeria. Order 2. Directions on trial proceedings. Perimeters of a court. The perimeters of a court sitting over terrorism trial shall be secured for the period of a trial for safety of litigants and court officials. B. Distance and size of perimeters to be secured for the trial shall be determined based on the recommendation of security agencies on a case-by-case basis. C. No person shall be allowed within the secured perimeters save the approved court officials, parties, and a number of pre-registered legal practitioners on either side, witnesses, and any other person as may be directed by the judge or the most senior judge given the circumstances. Premises of a court, only the judges, other essential court staff, and security agencies involved in the particular case and the vehicles shall have access to the court premises. Order 3. Courtroom proceedings. 1. Proceedings of offensive of terrorism, subject to the provisions of Section 232 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and Section 34 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended, shall be held in camera or may be ordered by the court. The names, addresses, telephone numbers, and identity of the victims of such offences or witnesses in the proceedings shall not be disclosed in any record or report of the proceedings, and it shall be sufficient to designate the names of the victims or witnesses with a combination of alphabet. 3. In any proceedings where the court deems it necessary to ensure the safety and or protect the identity of the victim or a witness, it may take any or all of the following protective measures. A. Hold a proceeding at any place to be designated by the Chief Judge, and in the case of the Abuja Judicial Division, the venue for the time being shall be the premises of the Code of Conduct Tribunal. B. Receive evidence by video link. C. Permit the witnesses to be screened or masked. Receive written dispositions of expert witnesses. Direct that all or part of the proceedings of a court or court shall not be published in any manner. F. Exclude from the proceedings any person and other parties and their legal representatives, e.g., make order as to any electronic services that will be allowed during the proceedings. H. Make order on any other measure that the court. Directions on trial proceedings. Perimeter of a court. A. Of a court sitting over terrorism charge shall be secured for the period of a trial for safety of litigants and court officials. Premises of a court. Only the judges or the essential court staff or security agencies involved at a particular case and other vehicles shall have access to the court premises. Other free courtroom proceedings. Proceedings of offences of terrorism subject to the provisions of Section 232 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and Section 34 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended shall be held in camera or as may be ordered by the court. The names, addresses, telephone numbers and identity of the victims of such offences or witnesses in the proceedings shall not be disclosed in any record or report of the proceedings, and it shall be sufficient to designate the names of the victims or witnesses within a combination of alphabet. Permit the witness to be screened or masked. Receive written deposition of expert witnesses. Direct that all or any part of the proceedings of the court shall not be published in any manner. Exclude from the proceedings any person other than the parties and other legal representatives. Make order to any electronic devices that will be allowed during proceedings. Make order on any other measure that the court considered appropriate in the circumstances. Order IV coverage of proceedings. Coverage of proceedings under this practice direction is strictly prohibited, save as may be directed by the court. A person who contravenes an order or direction made under these practice directions shall be deemed to have committed an offense contrary to Section 34.5 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended. According to the Chief Information Officer of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, Catherine Kistova, the practice directions seek to provide measures that will ensure the security and safety of parties, personnel of law enforcement agencies and the judiciary. Hopefully, justice will be prevailed at the end of the day. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come here next time, enjoy the rest of the day.